Part 13. Immortal world is back, I am invincible. Author, listen to the wind with your L. Chapter 121. The moonlight is cold. Nijixuan looked at the ghost-eyed old man and the one-armed sword demon with cold eyes. Do you two think you still have a chance to survive? If you dare to betray Changsheng Academy, you will have no choice but to die to apologize. Then, he said to Lin Zixuan, Vice President Lin, do it? It's the old man, I don't know who he is. After all, he recruited these two guys. When the ghost-eyed old man and the one-armed sword demon heard this, they were so frightened that they broke out in cold sweat. After looking at each other, they got up and tried to escape. When Lin Zixuan saw this, she took control of the formation arranged by Suyu and waved it casually. The giant white tiger rushed out at great speed and trampled on their two heads with its claws. Bang, bang twice. The heads of the ghost-eyed old man and the one-armed sword demon exploded like watermelons in an instant. The air was filled with blood mist. Yang Yi's body in the pit was shaking more and more violently. Lin Zixuan, are you crazy? Even if you control a 7-star formation, do you want to hide in this formation for the rest of your life? Our Yang family has a certain influence in Xia Kingdom. Do you want to fight our Yang family to the death? Yang Yi gritted his teeth and shouted. At this point, Lin Zixuan didn't say any more nonsense. She pointed a little deeper into the pit. The giant white tiger suddenly fell into the pit, and Yang Yi's whole body turned into a pool of blood mist. Nijixuan sighed and said, our Changsheng College has embarked on a turbulent road, and now we can only grit our teeth and keep going. Lin Zixuan, Tang Yuxin, and others nodded in agreement. In a blink of an eye, 7 days flew by. Today is the day when Qin Tians and Song Ruian get engaged. Their engagement took place in a huge square in the imperial capital's Immortal Martial Academy. This place has been carefully decorated. The people who came to attend the engagement banquet today were all important figures in the Xia dynasty. Amid applause and congratulations, Qin Tians, who was wearing a black luxurious suit, and Song Ruian, who was wearing a red dress, appeared in everyone's sight at the same time. Song Ruian held Qin Tian's arm intimately. In the eyes of everyone, this is a couple of gods and immortals. Qin Tians approached Song Ruian's ear and said, it's a pity that good-for-nothing Suyu is not here today. If there is a chance in the future, I will personally send him to see the Lord of Hell. However, as soon as he finished speaking, a voice as cold as ice sounded, Qin Tians, you don't have to wait until the future. Your grandfather and I are here to attend your funeral today. I saw Suyu walking slowly from outside the crowd. Behind him were Lin Zixuan, Tang Yuxin, Zhang Wan, and others. Although Qin Tians spoke in a very low voice just now, with Suyu's cultivation level, he could hear it clearly. See Suyu arriving. After Qin Tians was stunned for a moment, he laughed. Zhajui, what did you just say? You said you came to my funeral. It's so funny. Do you want to kill me in front of everyone? I now have a cultivation level in the middle stage of the creation realm. Thanks to this pair of infinite purple pupils, my cultivation level has improved so quickly. Song Ruian said coldly, Suyu, you have been just a disgusting reptile from the beginning to the end. This is not the place you should be. Why don't you die? Then, her eyes swept over Lin Zixuan and others. Vice President Lin and Vice President Zhang of Linzhou Changsheng College are here today. A mere unrecognized pheasant academy dared to kill Ye Qingtian and Ye Binglan of the Ye family in Kunlun Mountain. Senior Ye Binglan is the next dean of our college. There is no need for your Changsheng Academy to exist at all. Where is your so-called Dean Su? Do you think people from the outside world will believe that Senior Su Changsheng is your dean? No matter how many of you come today, they will all die. Suyu stepped forward and said calmly, I am the dean of Changsheng College, and the Su Changsheng you are talking about is also me. As soon as these words came out, After a few seconds of silence, it was all kinds of mocking laughter. Lin Zixuan and others also looked confused. So far, they still don't know that Su Yu is Su Changsheng. Qin Tians shouted coldly, "Trash, how dare you pretend to be senior Su Changsheng? Don't you think you're just a clown?" After he finished speaking, an extraordinary old man came out. He was the dean of the Immortal Martial Academy in the imperial capital, and his cultivation was at the early stage of the Tianyang realm. Above the Tianyu realm is the Tianyang realm. Once a monk reaches Tianyang realm, he will definitely be able to walk around the world. Then, a middle-aged man with only one thumb on his left hand came out, and the aura of Tianyang realm of perfection burst out from him. "I come from the Ye family in Kunlun Mountain. Ye Qingtian and Ye Binglan are my nephews and nieces." The man with only 6 fingers in his hands stared at Su Yu and others with cold eyes. 6-finger sword fairy? A few years ago, there was a man with only 6 fingers and a knife in his hand who killed many powerful people abroad. But no one knows who he is. So everyone gave him the nickname 6-finger sword fairy. No one present expected that this 6-fingered sword immortal was actually the uncle of Ye Qingtian and Ye Binglan. The dean of the Immortal Martial Academy and the 6-fingered sword immortal in the imperial capital simultaneously pressed their momentum towards Su Yu and others. Under the mocking eyes of Qin Tians, Songruyan, and others, there was a hint of aura on Su Yu's body. Lin Zixuan and others who were trying to fight for their lives behind him suddenly widened their eyes. Just because of Su Yu's momentum, the sky was instantly torn apart. The earth is crumbling, like the end of the world. Everyone present, including the 6-fingered sword immortal and the dean of the Immortal Martial Academy, immediately fell to their knees on the ground. Lin Zixuan and others were protected by Su Yu, and they were not affected in any way. "I can destroy this world with just a snap of my fingers." "How? Weren't you all awesome just now? You couldn't even bear the slightest bit of momentum from me." While talking, Su Yu walked forward slowly and gently patted the 6-fingered sword immortal on the head. The next moment, the 6-fingered sword immortal's head exploded. The dean of the Immortal Martial Academy in the imperial capital was kneeling on the ground, swallowing crazily in his throat. Su Yu just glanced at him. The old man convulsed and died. Qin Tians looked at Su Yu, who was approaching step by step. After he suddenly came to his senses, his face was filled with endless fear. At this moment, he finally believed that Su Yu was Su Changsheng. Beings who can easily kill the overlords of the Tianyang realm can be said to be the number one on earth. "Senior Su, I know I was wrong, I really know I was wrong. I was not the one who dug out your eyes back then, please." Before Qin Tians could finish speaking, Su Yu dug out his eyes with his own hands. "Ah!" A painful scream came from Qin Tian's throat. "Noisy." Su Yu waved his hand casually. There was a bang sound. Qin Tian's body exploded into a ball of blood mist. This scene made Songruyan, who was kneeling beside him, tremble. "Brother Yu, I was forced to do this. It was the Song family who forced me to leave you. It was the Song family that forced me to get engaged to Qin Tians, a beast. I will always only love you. I will stay by your side from now on. We will definitely be able to be together happily." Songruyan stared at Su Yu lovingly. "Do you think you're worthy of me? Say it." Su Yu moved his fingers. Songruyan's entire face became distorted and extremely ugly. At the same time, several meridians in her body were broken one after another, and from now on she could only be a useless and ugly creature. Su Yu put away any trace of momentum he released. "I will wait here for 3 days. Within 3 days, no matter who challenges me, I will take it. But please remember, as long as I take action, someone will definitely die." Time flies. 3 days passed quickly. During these 3 days, the strong man who came here to try to kill Su Yu. In the end, they all died in Su Yu's hands. Since then, Suyu has become the well-deserved number one on Earth. Later, he found his parents in Kunlun Mountain. His mother is from a family of cultivators in Kunlun Mountain, and his mother and father have been imprisoned for these years. Just because his mother disobeyed the family's arrangements. Suyu easily swept through the entire Kunlun Mountains with his own strength. Then, he returned to the immortal world with his parents and his loved ones. Complete the book.